Okay. Just working on finishing setting up here. It is Friday. It is bonus stream day. I got all those effing cookies done yesterday. Oh my goodness. I didn't think I was gonna finish. I still had like 2 double batches to go and my back was starting to seize and I was like, oh no. No, 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 no. But we got them done. And we are going to try to get some more work done on this guy. See how far we get. My hands are freezing. For some reason, there's fucking golden balls in our room. I don't know why it feels so cold in here, but in that it does. Okay, good. I was worried I did not have that quite long enough. First I was like, oh, is this too long? But we appear to be just the right length. So when we last left off, I had finished getting the underside colored on this guy. And I just started to color in our little, like, neck body nub thing where we're going to connect the head to. But I need to get this fully colored in. In order to really make that completely work out, I think. So this might involve a little bit of extra bussin' in this area. Because I gotta make sure that we are as colored as we can be. Because when I go to put the head on here, it's gonna be a little difficult. To get in and around the head after it's attached to try to fix something. So we are gonna do our best to kind of get this sorted and settled in here. So we are just gonna kind of work our way through this guy. I'm not sure how long we're going today. We'll have to see how the afternoon, late morning does for us here. Husband had an appointment he had to go to. I'm not sure what time he'll be back. Should be back relatively soon. And I don't think we had to do anything today. I don't necessarily think so. I think we need to check where we're at on pig food, though. Come on, Arm. We've only just gotten started. You can't be getting this pissy already. Already, my arm's like, no, I don't want to do this today. Guess what, Arm? We don't have a choice. We're running out of time. We need to get this guy done. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice, Mr. Arm. Not if we want this done in time. Which I'm starting to question. If we are gonna get it done in time. We might. Like, I still have a good amount left to do on this guy, but at the same time, it's not, like, unsurmountable. Like, I think we can get this. It's a little bit thicker than it necessarily needs to be. Okay. So this anchored down over here. Like, not completely thrilled that it's quite that thin in that particular spot. That is the underside. So it's probably okay, and I can put a little patchy patch on that if necessary. It might not be. We'll see how we're looking here as we get along. If nothing else, we should at least get this little nubby nub covered here. As best as we can. So just trying to see what we've got going on here. And you know, we try to do our little bit of overlapping where we can. So that we don't have too much weirdness between the color strips coming in here. I feel so dumb. I had recorded 2 episodes of Bear and Breakfast earlier this week, and our phone kept ringing every time I was trying to get started. And we had been trying to track down the mother-in-law and her sister because they said they were on their way back. They had to go somewhere. And we're like sitting here waiting for them to come back before I got started on anything because it's always a production when they show up and loudness ensues and, you know, the whole 9 yards, all of it. Well, they weren't showing up. They weren't showing up. It was like a 2-hour drive. And I'm like, where the heck are they? And the husband had texted his mom or, you know, like, is everything okay? It was a 2-hour drive and you guys aren't here yet. And we were genuinely worried that something had happened. And the mother-in-law finally calls him back and she's like, we're fine. We got detoured. And I'm like, they went to the casino. And he's like, what do you mean detoured? Oh, well, your aunt's stomach flared up. And so we're gonna stop for the night. It's a 2-hour drive. It flared up so bad she can't make the however remaining distance is left in between here and where you guys are. Like, does she need to go to the emergency room? Is it that bad? Like we were deeply, deeply concerned. So I started my recording and I had hit mute when the phone rang. I thought I unmuted it. I didn't. Phone rings again and I hit the mute button and unmuted it, and I heard myself say to the husband in the recording, who was it? And then I don't hear anything else. Like, I can vaguely hear him talking in the background, but I can't hear what he's saying. And I'm like, okay. And so I must have hit unmute then, thinking I was muting it, and I happened to look down and saw that the mute button was hit again. I was like, oh, sorry, I thought I had only forgotten to unmute it for like 5 or 10 minutes. No, 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 no. I had it muted for like 20 minutes of a 50-minute episode of Bear and Breakfast. And I was like, oh no. So I bleeped out the section where I said, who was it? You can vaguely hear me say, oh, in the background. It was such a fluster chicken of a day, and I didn't want to throw out the episode because we did some stuff there, and I'm like, right. So I had to edit in a voiceover and be like, hey, Nisey strikes again. And I done messed up. But here, enjoy this episode of Bear and Breakfast without me talking for half of it. Sorry. Like, what am I supposed to do? Typical Nisey. Typical Nisey. Not surprised in the slightest, but just like, really, really, brain. Okay. I'm starting to get a little bit kind of sideways here on this. So I might have a patch of a little section of polyfill I'm gonna have to put a smaller bit over top of just to try to even this guy up a little bit. The heck am I hearing? I'll be right back. Okay. If you have cats, you'll understand the sound. I thought I heard a cat starting to have a barfing good time. I was like, oh no, where are they? Except it was kind of like distant, and I'm like, who is it? Who's doing it? I need to know where you are so you're not like barfing on electronics or anything of great importance. Or like on our comforter on the bed. Like, where are you? Why can't I find you? It sounds like somebody hammering outside. I don't know where they're hammering. But it had just like the tempo that sounded like a cat trying to be sick. That was definitely something I had to go investigate. Since husband's not here. Please make sure that they're not doing it in an area that we can't get to clean up easily. Because our guys are pros at being in the worst possible place ever. And the only cat that's in this room is chilling on our bed. And I'm like, is it you? And he's just kind of looking at me like, what? Like, are you sure it wasn't you? He's just staring at me like, what? Like, okay, it's not you. And I checked our windowsill behind the husband's computer. Like, the back of his computer is like right under our windowsill and our room that the cats like to sit in. I was like, no, 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 no. Not there. Not there. And I pulled the curtain back and there was no cat there. I was like, huh. I have no idea what this tapping, banging noise is. I didn't see anybody outside. So it's nothing in my immediate view here. We're supposed to have rain tonight. It's supposed to be raining in the morning when we head down to Fort Smith for our friend's graduation tomorrow. I am freezing. So cold. I don't know why it's this chilly in here. Because it's actually the warmest day it's been all week. But it feels super, super chilly. Probably because it's gray out. We've got some clouds moving in already. Sunrise was a bit dramatic this morning. Didn't get any pictures though, because I wasn't in a position to really get a good picture of it. I was still in bed when I peeked out the window. And the one phone that I was using to take pictures with, that is pretty much a glorified camera at this point because there's no SIM card or anything in it, wasn't turned on, and it takes forever for that one to boot up. Sounds like husband's back. Yes, that would be him. Husband has returned. 1 second, guys. Alright, sorry. Had to check in with him. Seeing how his appointment went. Pretty windy out, too. Our wind chimes keep going crazy out there today. Alright. You alright?
Yep, delivery.
Oh, okay, thank you. Tried to give the mother-in-law her cookies last night, and apparently they had fallen asleep or something because they weren't answering any texts until we got into bed. And then they're like, "What do you want?" And we're like, "We have your cookies." So she had to wait till this morning to get them. I'm so sick of these cookies. Like, I've had my fill of just baking cookies that I don't even want to eat them now that I made them. We got carried away. We made too many. We made way too many. By like 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I was like, that's it. I want to be done. I don't want to do this anymore. And I still I was still in the middle of the second batch of peanut butter and still had 2 more double batches of cookies to go. I'm like, why? Why did I do this? Why? I'm like, husband, I'm not making cookies again for like 6 months. He goes, no kidding, eh? Like, no, it's not. I think I was fussing with these cookies from like 9:30, 9:45 yesterday morning till like oh gosh, till when? Till like, I don't know, 9 o'clock last night. Like, I don't want to see another cookie again. I'm like, take these to your mother. I don't want to look at them anymore. Make them go away. I'm sick of these cookies. And I looked at how many cookies I had. Because he wanted sugar cookies. And he's like, oh, can you make frosting on them? I'm like, really? You want powdered sugar frosting on them? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I made them and I gave him, well, first he wanted M&Ms and he didn't like the thinness of the sugar cookie with the M&M in it. He goes, no. I was like, all right, so you want me to just do the frosting? He goes, yeah, just do that. So I made one with frosting. I'm like, tell me now before I go any further. And he's like, oh no. I was like, so what you really wanted was the Walmart sugar cookie with their actual frosting on it. He goes, yeah, I guess. And I'm like, do I need to give you money to go and get them? He goes, no, because they don't have the ones I want. He likes the lemon frosted, like cakey sugar cookie. But they really only have those in spring most of the time. And I'm like, well, I can't help you with that. I was like, do I need to put lemon extract in this for you to try it that way? And he goes, no, no, no. So he just got a few plain sugar cookies, and now I've got all these other sugar cookies left. I'm like, I didn't want this many sugar cookie for just me, but I had already had the second bag mixed at that point, so I kind of had to follow through. Like, I'm never going to be able to eat all these cookies. Like, this just isn't going to happen. And we didn't give the mother-in-law too many cookies, because she does have sugar issues. We couldn't give his aunt any, because she needs to be gluten-free, and these weren't gluten-free cookies. Okay, so that's not so bad. Yeah, that's kind of blending together pretty good there. This might be a little excessive here, but we'll see. We'll see how we do. I'm still really nervous how this is gonna look. A little bit there was a little much. It won't go to waste. We'll use it somewhere. And if we don't need it to, if we don't need it to patch up here anywhere, then we'll stick it on the tail somewhere. It will get used one way or another. No worries there. I'm sorry, I keep turning it and twisting it quite so much, but I do need to see where I'm stabbing this thing into, you know? Like, we don't want any foo bars here, so... Were they actually up?
My aunt was. My mother kind of was. She needed a couple bags. They are going to leave Sunday. That's the plan. Assuming they get a Monday scheduled doctor's visit for Honey.
I thought it was already scheduled the way they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
They know it's going to be pouring rain on Monday, right?
Mm-hmm. Not my problem.
Alrighty. She kept saying they had to. The dog got fixed. That's where they went. So they were gone for a few days because they went to a different vet in Oklahoma. Dog got fixed. Their dog. Her sister's dog. And I said, when are you guys leaving? Because they were talking about as soon as they got their money this month, they were out of here. And they're like, either Sunday or Monday. Because the dog has to have her stitches out. I'm like, the dog has to have stitches out? I'm like, most vets use the stitches that dissolve. On their own. After a little bit. So I thought that was kind of odd. And they made it sounded like they had this appointment already for the stitches to come out. So it strikes me as odd that that is if they can get an appointment. Like, why aren't you calling today to make this appointment? Like, what? I give up, y'all. I don't know how to grown-ass women can get through life so disorganized. Like, I would have been making the appointment that day. before I left after picking the dog up from being fixed, I've been like, okay, when does she need to have these stitches out? Alright, let's make this appointment right now. Because that's kind of an important thing. You would think. But maybe I'm just weird like that. It could be that I'm just weird. So give me 1 second. Excuse me. Whew, I am pretty tired today. I'm ready for a nap already, and I'm like, we haven't done nothing today. Pick it up. Threw some kind of clothing on. Took the dogs to the Borkborg place. The P-A-R-K. Came back. Had some food. Hopped in the shower, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, just done for the day already. I'm like, nope. I'm tired. Well, the tail shouldn't be as dense to stab into. So I shouldn't have too much arm tiredness with that. At least I hope. There. Get that all. You alright?
Yeah.
Worked into here, so I probably have like 1 or 2 more bits to put on this section. Probably. There. Now what's wrong?
No, nothing. Just doing a delivery.
What delivery? Okay. See what we can get stabbed in over this last bit of polyfill poking through. So, we won't have a stream on Christmas Day because I have to cook. But we'll still do Christmas Eve stream. I don't know what we're gonna do on Christmas Eve yet. It's supposed to be an art day. We'll have to see. Alright, so we're getting there. We are getting there! So close to being done this part. And then we can move on to the tail. And that will be the body done. And then we can make our leggies. I don't know if we're making the leggies today, though. Fair warning on that. Leggies might not be getting made until Monday. More than likely. Alright, so I've got a tiny patch here that still needs to get filled in. Alright, so I have just a little bit right there peeking out. So let's see about filling that guy in. At least he doesn't have to be too big to get tapped into there. making sure everybody's good and attached here. Definitely need this section to be attached. Okay. So. Right, this is right side up. Okay. Now, for our tail. Let's start attaching, I guess. I think I'm gonna color this the way I colored the little tentacle guys. So just kind of like laying some bits of color down. Oh yes, parts of this tail are definitely not as dense as the body. It should be okay. As long as it doesn't like deform it too much. We should be alright. Alright. So this will take a little bit of tapping in here. It's going to be a little more slightly disorganized. Working in these bits of color. But hey, we got the nub covered and we're just starting the tail in like 50 minutes. That's not bad for me. Always have to stick that little bit on there. Not bad for me. So I'm gonna start up here. So I want to overlap our colors a bit. So inevitably, some of these will end up being a little longer, a little shorter. As long as we get it all colored in the end, and it doesn't look too splotchy, then we're okay. section just looked a little bit loose up there on the body. It probably wasn't, it just looked it. So this might be slightly, like, it seems like it would be the easier part, but it might be a little more fussy. Right, because we're trying to get this worked in, and it's a slightly round area. So we're trying to work it in without losing our roundness, essentially. But I'm also trying to make sure that we are attaching in here. And my tail's a little bit softer than the rest of the body. Arm stretch. I do have to be careful. My thumb is slightly underneath of it. I'm trying to support it a little bit. But this is a thinner section. And since it's round, there is a chance we could stab through and get our finger. So we need to try not to be too aggressive in our stabbing here. Does make me kind of wish we had colored this guy before we attached him, but it might have been a little bit easier. So we could have turned him a little bit more freely. It is always nice to start to have those, like the project start to come to life. Those moments where it's like, yes, this is what we've been working for. Okay. So I'm just trying to like overlap the main pieces coming off the body. Like, I'm okay with these gaps in between right now. For the moment, those gaps can be there. We'll be filling those in as we go along here. I'm just hoping that when we go to put the next bit in, our seams won't be so bad. They shouldn't be. I'm not anticipating them to be. Let me get that out from underneath the tail. Don't have that tapping obnoxiously the whole time. Alright. But like the tail shouldn't, in theory, take anywhere near as long as the body itself has. Like I said earlier, I don't know how long we're going today. It might not be a super long stream today. Or I am fairly tired.
But how are you going to get my axolotl done if you don't keep going, honey?
I know. But there's something I kind of wanted to take care of. Oh, she's not eating dinner with us, so we either get double hamburger or the dogs get an extra.
She's not eating dinner with us. Why?
She's finishing her leftovers.
Okay.
From last night. Oh, there's Littles. Littles Maui. And we'll have Monday and Tuesday to work on this guy. And we'll have the opportunity for bonus streams next week. Because we shouldn't have anything going on. And we are now moving on to coloring the tail. I haven't quite made it around the tail. Maybe it will take as long as the body. Because we are still working our way around. Oh, goodness. I will say my one arm is trying to lock up, and that's not good. Okay, so you're chilly too. It's not just me.
Bit, yeah.
I thought it was me. There. We're about halfway around that section. Although as we get further down, it's not as thick. So we do have that going. Well, we'll probably go for about another hour, and we'll see where we're at. Oh, hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Everybody seems to want to call when we are in the middle of a stream. Okay. We'll get that hooked into there. Maybe the tail will take that long. I guess we'll see. I mean, in the end, it's going to take as long as it's going to take, right? So... Alright, well that's definitely stiffening up the tail a bit. For sure. Alright, a little bit of water on the finger to the palm. And then just start to do the next bit of stabbing here. So, I mean, we're obviously going to have some seams on the tail. That's just the way it's going to be. But we can see what we can do to try to minimize their appearance. Which may or may not be possible. But we'll do what we can. So I'm kind of like purposely bending this a little bit to try to get our tails bent shape back. Because it did straighten out a little. We've almost made it all the way around. This first bit here. And this will probably be, it'll probably be our widest section, but we don't really taper that much. We taper a little bit. Okay. See, it did turn it a little bit there. Will we lose that turn? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Not really, like, specifically. It's a little hard to hold on to. Definitely should have colored him before we attached it. Because I have part of the body up on my shoulder at times. Okay. So it's going to take a little bit of stabbing here to get all of this put into here. Because we do have quite a good amount of fluff here. And for anybody new, this is a base of our critter made out of polyfill. And I am felting our acrylic yarn over top of it. Now we did make this base out of the polyfill. This wasn't something pre-made. We did entirely do that ourselves. And sometimes it takes a little more persuading to stab into the polyfill. It can be done. We've done it before. I mean, obviously, we've gotten this far. But my fibers here are also a little bit looser. So when they're a little bit looser, they're a little bit more wild here. They're just being a little bit unruly. It's just going to take a little extra persuasion on our part for this section. So we're going to have some gaps as we go. We will get those filled in. As we work our way down. Didn't want it to be quite that long though for each section. I mean, I know some of these are a little bit longer, but it's also a little bit longer than I really wanted them to be. Mostly just because, you know, the smaller the bits are, I'm thinking the easier time we're gonna have working through them. I mean, we're gonna have to overlap anyway. As we are working our way down. So this is kind of like where we started. Next time we'll definitely color the tail. Okay. Our map keeps walking all over the place here. A little bit of water. Unauthorized college? No, I don't think so. Just no. Just no. Welcome to the block ban list. I'm sorry if that was a account you stole. Did I start it to? No. Okay. So, next bit. Start to overlap you. In between these two bits. So we'll keep on trucking here. Keep on stabbing our way through. Okay. Oh my god, this dog is sawing logs. She snores almost as loud as my mom does. And that's quite a feat. Quite the feat indeed. Almost feels harder to get the color in when the poly feels softer. Well, we haven't stabbed through yet. There's no little spikies. We will end up doing so down here more than likely. And this is a pretty thick bit of fluff too. Alright. So we'll start this guy. And we'll get his overlapping in here. So again, we're going to be careful because our finger's kind of under here about going too deep. There we did go through. I just barely felt it. Like going real gentle here is gonna take 6 days to Sunday, so kind of need to go at it a little bit more forcefully. All right. Getting this bit in there. Like, I don't really want it that bent, though. Like, having it too bent isn't going to work out too well for us. Because I still have to attach the fin. We still have to make the fin. Alright, so what do we still have left to do on this guy? We still have to finish the tail. Like coloring the tail. When we finish the tail, and I'm not saying we're doing all of this today, I'm just listing off what still needs to be done. So we need to finish coloring the tail here. We need to make our leggies. And we need to get those guys colored. And attached. I need to make our little attachment strap to attach the head to the body. Put that on the head and then attach it. I need to attach the eyes. And get the eyebrows on. And then we have to make the fin and attach the fin. So we definitely still have some work to do on this guy. But we'll get there. Question is, do I think we can get done in time? I don't know. That depends on how much life fights us on that. There are factors involved in that are slightly out of my control. But right now, I'm just kind of like trying to fill in up in here, and however long it is however long it is. So it's definitely involving a bit of layering. Like layering as we go, like on the edges and stuff. Like I'm not, don't misunderstand, I'm not laying a bunch of this purposely on top of itself, but there will be some overlapping where the colors will essentially will layer and overlap. Just a little. It doesn't look like we are poking through just yet. Okay. So just trying to make sure that we are attaching pretty well. And yeah, so far not so bad. I did manage to get a little bit more of this color fluffed up. The other night. Not as much as I probably should have, but I didn't want to go overboard either. All right. So I'm just kind of working on getting our tail covered up here. And the tail's gonna take a little bit of fussing. Right, 'cause we have to keep rotating it. I could have wrapped the color, but I wanted to do it this way. We've not been having too bad of a time doing it this way. We have a bit more, like we're slowly making our way down. Like we're almost meeting up with where we started. So it'll be like one more piece in here and then we'll probably be kind of caught up to our first bits that we started to put in here. So don't forget, as we work down towards the tip, right, we're gonna start to have that needle possibly coming through the other side. I don't see any evidence that we've poked through yet. Well, I did feel it the one time, but it didn't Didn't leave any little spiky guys, so. Just had some little fuzzies there, just cleaning up. So that guy. So I'm kind of having to overlap a little bit on the edges of this section and up here. Just to make sure that we are looking pretty good. All right. So once we get this section worked in, we'll be able to start with more as we work our way around. Okay. That section looked a little lumpy, so I just wanted to hit that up. Give that another little quick once over. All right. We need a little bit more fluff and stuff. Pulled out of our Ziploc bag. I'm trying to work in some smaller amounts of fluff. Only because then I can take breaks more often with my arm getting tired. Alright, I want to put you. I guess you'll just have to start your attachment right about into here. So if I do start to poke through the side, we might have to take our snips and just kind of run them along the edge just to clean it up a little bit, because there'll be some little pokey throughs. It'll be obvious if we're really stabbing through pretty horrifically. So far though, we are pretty okay. Like, so far, so good. And this will also help make sure we don't have any weak points with how we made our tail. I know we had to attach some extensions to them at least once, and then this will help bring everybody together, though I'm not sure. This might have been an attachment point. Maybe. It's not plainly visible to me as an attachment point, so maybe not. It's a little softer right there, though, so that could be one. All right. So I'm just going to overlap to the side and to the top. Just a little bit. We don't have to be super, super crazy with it. So I need to be a little bit careful, or just, kind of hold it out a little bit. You know what? We're just going to set it down. If it unbends, it unbends. That kind of felt like it was going through. Kind of, sort of. It might not have been. I don't see any evidence of it. Alright. So, round and round we go, basically, with where we're at. With our overlapping of our colors. So I am using acrylic yarn. Traditionally, people will go with roving as the felting material of choice. I have a little bit of roving. I have used it. It does stick to itself a little bit easier. So like this probably wouldn't take as long with that. But the acrylic yarn is a bit more budget friendly. You do have to put the prep work in on it. But you can get quite a wide range of colors. I think you can get more colors than if you went with roving. But maybe it's just because I don't have access to a large color selection of roving. But even so, with the larger projects, the yarn's just more budget friendly. And plus, you know, if you have a wool allergy, the acrylic yarn's definitely an option for you. Now, I don't normally do critters on the channel. I usually do, like, painted scenes with the fluff. So, critters usually are a special occasion. So, like the husband's Christmas gift is a special occasion. Okay. Not doing too bad. I mean, it is a little slow going. Nowhere near body coloring slow, I don't think, but because technically we've been working on the tail for only about an hour. Took me just under an hour to get the connection point colored, so. Alright, where did we leave off? I guess about here. I guess it doesn't really matter that we are picking up in the exact spot that we left off in, as long as the whole thing gets colored in the ends. That's really all that matters. In the long run. Okay. Get this jabbed into here. As best as we can. We're doing pretty good about not stabbing through too much. Okay. Next little bit of fluffy stuff. Actually, I do need to make a mess with the water. Just helps me make shapes with the fluff a little bit easier. That's all. Especially this time of year, my hands just don't have enough friction on them. And you don't want to saturate it. Like, I'm just doing a drop of water off of my other finger onto my palm. I really don't need to get too super crazy with that. want to be fairly sparingly with it. If you even need it. Like, if you have sweaty hands or it's warmer, so you've got a little bit more friction on your hands, you know, maybe your hands are a little bit rougher, then you probably won't even need to do that. So I've got water spilling out of my cup onto the desk. That's alright. It's only water, right? Could be worse. A little bit of water, no big deal. Not like we have a flood of glue or sealer or paint going everywhere. But we are getting there. Like my brain's like, we're not getting there. We're halfway done. We're halfway down the length of the tail. So calm down, brain. Calm down, part of me that's like, no, no. We must move faster. Like, we're already kinda moving a bit fast here. All things considered. Alright, so let's get this edge. Like, we'll have to come back on the next round and add a little bit more, like in here. Not a big deal. So, get that bit. Where the heck are we? Oh, we're right here. Alright, so next piece going in's about in there. So, like one of the, I guess, better things about this, yeah, it's a little long, and it does mean a little bit more stabbing, but it does mean we don't have to do as many like length layers. Actually surprised we're not completely stabbing through. Kind of expected to see the evidence of that by now. Oh, stretchy arm. Okay. That section right in there kind of felt like we had come through. Like we definitely will down here. So we'll have to clean that section up a bit. Next piece. Oh, that one didn't want to let go. That bit of tail was like, no. You belong to me now. Alright. So we are kind of up here. Thinking it might take another hour to actually finish this. All right. So we're on the underside. Sometimes a lot of this is just awkward. Trying to hold on to it. In a way that we can stab in safely. So where were we? We are there. So we have to get that. All right. Next bit. I really wish whoever's doing that hammering outside would stop. That is becoming rather distracting. Goodness, this tail. We hit a very dense section of tail. Yes, indeed. Wow. Didn't think I had gotten that dense there. We are definitely stabbing through that. Wow. Okay. So where are we? We are here. Oh, that's gonna be a little too dense, I think. My arm's gonna get real mad, be like, what you doing? Trying to get my edges dabbed into there. You okay?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Oh,
Today your flamingo fell into a pit and took damage.
woohoo!
And then continued to take damage if they weren't smart enough to get out of the pit.
Die, flamingo, die!
Yes, well. A victory is a victory, damn it.
Yay!
Gentle hug. Hug. Okay. Continue stabbing.
Okay.
We were very careful not to have physical contact during stabby time.
We might have to take a break from stabby time.
Not that bad.
We might have to. I'm like, I want to at least get this tail done, but another part of me wanted to talk to you about something, so...
Alright. Watch me for a second, give me a rundown on the concept.
Okay. So we might not finish the tail today, because we're gonna go do something. because the place that I wanted to get something from is not open on Sunday. And tomorrow, we won't be able to. We're not doing any extra streams tomorrow on Saturday, since we managed to get a little bit of work done on this guy. So, on Monday, Sunday we'll be back with Coral Island. Monday, we will work on finishing up this guy's tail, I think. I don't have too much further to go, because we finished the other Christmas gifts, so that's what we're gonna do Monday. We'll be back to finishing up this bit here. And if we have time, which we should, we'll start to work on our leggies and get those guys colored up. I don't know if we'll have time to attach them on Monday, but if we don't, then we will attach them on Tuesday. So we got that going. Hey, Zorts. Thanks for the resub there. Appreciate that. Yep, morning. But we started like doing a chore chart, and if I was consistent enough, I get a little something or other. So we're actually gonna go take care of that. I haven't quite hit the number, but I don't have time to go do the thing next week. So like it's eating the back of my brain, like the thing, and I'm like, yeah, but we need to do this thing. It's like the thing. So we're gonna go and deal with that here in a minute. Besides, my neck's still a little pissed from all the freaking cookies yesterday. So we got that going. Really don't want to see another cookie. Now I have to eat them all. I was making cookies from like 10 in the morning to like 9 o'clock last night. Only stopping for like a half an hour to eat dinner. Roughly. It was a long day. So don't forget to follow the socially things. Excuse me. See, I'm tired. Don't forget to follow the socially things down below or up above, depending on what you're watching on. There's links to the Instagram, the Ko-fi, the Blue Sky, and the YouTube channel. We're gonna have some more Bear and Breakfast, I think, going up tonight. I think that's what we're on. And actually, I think we're gonna have a few days of Bear and Breakfast before we kick back into the live stream archives. Yes, very yawny, Nisey. Very yawny. My back like seized up yesterday working on the cookies, and I was like, oh no. So we're not gonna get very far on this today. Like, my neck is sore. But we will pick this back up on Monday. But I will see everybody on Sunday for Coral Island. No bonus stream tomorrow because we have to go to our friend Tyler's college graduation. And we're going to be taking the boy out to lunch afterwards. Because we have not seen him in a little while now. It's been a couple of years, I think, since we've actually seen him. Even though he only lives like an hour away, we just don't have a reason to be down that way. So we don't really run into him, and his car hasn't been the greatest to pop up here. So we'll be dealing with that tomorrow. At least it's inside because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. At least at his graduation time. We'll have to drive in the rain on the way down, we think, but should be okay. Yeah, so Sunday Coral Island, Monday and Tuesday this guy, and then Wednesday Planet Zoo is what it's looking like. We still have a little ways to go on him, but we're further than I feel like we are. But maybe another hour to finish up the tail on Monday. But I will see everybody on Sunday. Zorts, you have a good day. Sorry to be popping out as you're just getting up, but get some coffee, wake up, have a good night at work. Or if you're not working and you're streaming tonight, I'll see you later at your stream. Yeah, so I need to go because he's like, we'll wrap up as soon as I get out of the shower, we'll go. So I guess I should wrap up. I'll see everybody later. Have a good one.